Supervisor Garcia, Jessica, friends, followers, welcome to the next edition of our exciting new podcast at the Office of the Supervisor of Elections of Miami-Dade County called the Ballot Brief with Alina Garcia. I'm your host, Juan Mendieta, simply the timekeeper and moderator, where each month we'll take a deep dive into democracy so that we all have a better understanding of the electoral process. Joining us today, of course, is the Honorable Alina Garcia, the Supervisor of Elections, but also joining us today is Jessica Oliveira, who is the Division Manager of the Information Systems Division, and she helps out with critical success at elections to make sure that all equipment is functioning properly ahead of our elections. So in our first show, we reacquainted viewers with the office and its functions, but today it's all about November 4th and our municipal elections, so critically important. So first things first, Madam Supervisor, we have a deadline to request a vote-by-mail ballot, which is October 23rd, to use in this November 4th election, and there's also new laws regarding voting by mail. If you could explain that to us.
Well, it's 12 days prior to the election, which is November 4th. So October 23rd is the deadline to request an absentee ballot. And please don't wait until the last minute. You can go online to VoteMiamiDade.gov, or you can call us at 305-499-8444, 305-499-8444. That's a line dedicated for vote by mail. And we're looking forward to these elections. Come November 4th, we're going to be using our new equipment. So I'm very excited. And I know that we're in good hands with Jessica.
Yes, thank you. Thank you guys for having me. I'm very excited to talk about this process.
So Jessica, this is all about elections readiness. And one of the critical components is what we call the logic and accuracy testing of our voting equipment and auditing systems. Why don't you tell us about that? That process is currently underway. What does it entail? And how does it ensure elections integrity?
Well, the very basic of it is a test to test all voting equipment allocated for any given election. That's a municipality or a countywide, as well as all the auditing equipment in the department and what is allocated to an election. And so a little bit of what we do and what the state particularly demands of us is we need to have randomized serial numbers for all our equipment. We take it a step further and we do that for our auditing equipment as well as our vote-by-mail machines, which are the DSA 50s. And we also ensure that our predetermined patterns match at all points. We do various tests prior to the official LNA, and we do a lot of tests after. So we're always ensuring that every single one of our voting machines, as well as our auditing machines, are acting at full capacity, and definitely before we send them out to any early voting site or any polling place.
So transparency is a huge component of this. Who can view this? Who can come?
The general public can come. Of course, all candidates, representatives of those candidates, they're always welcome. And again, it is open to all voters. It's up to them.
They're welcome, but they're also invited, right?
Yes,
so we invite the candidates, we invite the clerks, we invite the media, we invite the public. A lot of people won't come out, but if you're curious, you should come and see how it works.
And Supervisor, talking about transparency, recently you also invited the media and other representatives to come in and view the mailing out of nearly 40,000 vote-by-mail ballots loaded onto a U.S. post office truck. Tell us about that day and what happened.
Well, that was a wonderful day. October 6th, we mailed out almost 40,000 absentee ballots, and we had the carts full, we had the media here, and I want to thank the media for coming out and helping us promote elections. A lot of people don't go out when it's not a presidential election, but municipal elections are very important. The closer the government is to you, the more impact it has on your life. If you need a light, or you need a stop sign, or you need firefighters, or you need so many things. The local government is the one that makes those choices. And, we do live in a republic where you don't vote on everything, right? The elected official is the one that makes the choices for you. So it's really important to choose who you want for your local municipalities. And on November 4th, we will have elections for Miami, Miami Beach, Hialeah, Homestead, and Surfside. Surfside only has questions, but Miami, Miami Beach, Hialeah, and Homestead, they have commissioners, and all of them except Homestead have the mayor is also running. So those are really important elected officials that we need to elect. So please do your civic duty and come out and vote on November 4th. And, as you know, we have 3 ways of voting. You can vote by mail, or you can vote early vote. There's different times for the different municipalities. So I encourage you to look at our website or call your municipality. And you can also go vote on Election Day. And the address to go vote on Election Day is on your voter registration card that we recently mailed you. So check it out and make sure that you come out and vote.
That's incredibly important. And for early voting, typically in a general election, it's countywide. It's a similar schedule. But as the supervisor said, for municipal elections, it's different times, different days, and different times on some of the days. So it's important to go to the website and get that information so that you can vote.
And also, early voting for the city of Miami is not early voting for Hialeah and early voting for Miami Beach. You have to go, if you're going to go vote early, you need to go in your municipality.
So this is live TV, so we have some interruptions. That's quite all right. We had a phone ringing as we do this. So Supervisor, I want to turn our attention now to November 4th. Tell us about Election Day. We open at 7, we close at 7 p.m., but folks still in line at 7 p.m. can still cast their ballot. But tell us about the preparation that this office does in advance and during November 4th.
Oh my gosh, there's so many things. There are so many things that need to happen in order for us to have elections. People don't realize, all the preparations that need to take place. We need to take, number one, first and foremost, we need to secure the locations where we're going to have the elections, right? And then we need to go there. We go 48 hours prior. We start setting up our scanners. We vote on paper, but we count our votes through the scanners. So we have the scanners and the express vote machines and the EVITs, which are used to register you to vote. So we ensure that we have all the equipment that we need. We assign it to each of the precincts, and then it goes to each of the precincts. Also, we need to make sure that at the precincts we have phone lines and that we have connectivity, so that we can communicate, not because our vote is going to go through an email or anything like that, but for the people that are there so that they can communicate with us and with other election sites.
That is correct. And training is also important. We have many seasonal or temporary workers who join us to make elections a success, not only in advance of the elections, but as poll workers on Election Day. Tell us about that. And this year we have a group of participants from the WOW Center who are also participating in our elections on November 4th, neurodiverse residents who really want to contribute and be part of our community.
Yes, the training for our poll workers and for our clerks and all the deputies, that's very important. And we have a great team that educates them and teach them how to be poll workers. And we have manuals and all kinds of do's and don'ts. And, the most important thing is for people when they come out that they can cast their votes. And we do have a very select group from the WOW Center. We're very proud to coordinate with them so that we can have this group come and help us out as poll workers. And we have a couple of volunteers too also from the WOW Center. And we look forward to doing more with the diverse community.
So obviously we have many candidates in this race on November 4th. We anticipate that there will be likely a runoff that's scheduled for Tuesday, December 9th. Tell us about Tuesday, December 9th.
Well, in order to win an election in any of these municipalities, you have to have 50% of the vote plus one. If the ones that have 50% plus one will be, the person that won. If in some races we have 9 people, 13 people, so it's really difficult when you have so many people in an election to have 50 plus one. And those people that have the 2 top vote getters will go to the election in December. Oh my gosh, llegó cafecito.
So we now have cafecito and our new SOE branded demi-taps and our tacitas. Look at that.
Yes.
We always welcome these interruptions on the show because without the cafecito, I don't even know if we could get to the end of the show. Thanks so much, Jeanette.
Thank you,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Jeanette.
I'm going to hold these up for the camera, but these are our newly branded SOE tacitas or demi-tas, which we're using here. And again, these are efforts to engage. And I want to talk about engagement. These are things that we use to connect with voters. I know engagement has been a top priority for you, outreach, and that is ongoing year-round. You've definitely elevated that. Why is that so important?
Well, it's very important because people need to know that we have elections coming up. And it's, we have a lot of people that become citizens, and for the first time, they're going to vote. We have a lot of people from Venezuela, Nicaragua, Cuba, who they've never voted. They have no idea how it works. And we're doing a lot of outreach to ensure that everyone that can be registered to vote is registered to vote. And for those that are registered to vote, to encourage them to go out to vote. It's so important. As I was saying previously, local governments, they have so much input in our lives, in our daily lives. There's, there's a law that's going to tell you how you're going to be born, and there's a law that's going to tell you how, when you die, you're going to be buried. So elections are very important, and they're the cornerstone of our democracy. So I encourage everyone that can vote, if you live in the city of Miami, in the city of Miami Beach, in the city of Homestead, in the city of Hialeah or Surfside, please ensure that you think about it. How are you going to vote? Are you going to vote early? Are you going to go on election day? Are you going to vote by mail? It's very easy. If you're going to vote by mail, you can call our direct number at 305-499-8444. That line is dedicated for vote by mail only. Or you can go on our website at VoteMiamiDade.gov and request your vote by mail. But if you want to go on election day, you can also check and see your ballot online, right? When you go on our website, you can look it up when election ready, and you can see what your ballot is going to look like. And there's questions on the ballot, and you want to be prepared and know the answers to those questions. So I encourage you all, if you live in any of those municipalities, to please, make a plan. Make a plan so that way you get to vote. And if you can, vote early or vote by mail. Or if not, you go on election day. And on your voter registration card, you'll have the precinct that you belong to and the address. And we'll be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And if you get there at 5 minutes to 7 and there's a line, you will definitely vote. So we encourage you to do that, and we encourage you to vote. Remember that that's your civic duty. And, we live in a democracy. We're so blessed that we live in a democracy. Let's take care of our democracy, and let's ensure that our vote, that our voices are heard and that we vote.
Very well said. And I want you to remind our viewers and followers also of the new laws pertaining to voting by mail, if you could reiterate that.
Well, the vote by mail, if you've been on a list for many years, that doesn't mean that you're going to get a vote by mail. After each general election, after each general federal election, you will have to request to vote by mail. So if you voted by mail during the presidential election, that doesn't mean that you're going to get a ballot now. You need to request a ballot after that election. So ensure, that's why we're giving out the number, and we're going out to outreach and asking everyone if they want to vote by mail, because it's very simple. 305-499-8444 is our telephone number, or you can visit our website at VoteMiamiDade.gov and put yourself back on that list. And you'll be on that list through the elections of general elections of 2026. So the most that you can be on the list is 2 years, but it's actually after each federal general election that you have to renew your vote by mail status.
Excellent. Important information. Jessica, any additional thoughts you want to impart to our followers?
Yeah, I actually wanted to comment on all our outreach. I do want to say that it is incredible what we're doing here in this department, especially when it comes to outreach. I have so many family and friends, especially ones that are a little bit younger, maybe high school, early 20s, who they weren't really that sure how to sign up, how to register to vote, how to go about the process, or any other information, like specific information. And I will say that even just at the outreach events or just calling in here, they do feel more informed, and I think that brings a lot of ease to them because they feel like they can ask questions like they're being heard. So I will congratulate this department on that, because we really have done a great job on that.
Well, thank you very much, Jessica.
Yeah,
it's teamwork.
Yes,
we have
exactly.
We have a great team here at the Office of Elections. We have a wonderful team.
So there you have it. Time went by very quickly. It always does, but we covered a lot of ground. We'll be back here every month posting new content on or around the third Monday of every month to keep you informed on what we think is the most important process in our local government, which is voting. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen and followers. Thank you, Jessica. And Madam Supervisor, if you
Thank you
can
very
land.
much. Thank you very much. And God bless you, and God bless this wonderful county in the United States of America.